Good afternoon, and thank you for clicking in today at GoETBUTigers.com, and welcome to another edition of ETBU Extra, broadcasting live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. If you come and join us here at CC's, you can go through the buffet line and get the drink, all for $5, which is a saving over the regular price. Glad that you're here today listening to ETBU Extra. Got a big show today. We're going to talk Lady Tiger basketball, baseball, softball starts this weekend, and Tiger tennis as well. So a big show today for the next hour, live from CC's in Marshall, Texas. Hello, I'm Mike Midkiff, the voice of the Tigers, and joining me is the head basketball coach of the Lady Tigers, Dustin Howard. And Dustin, before we started, you said you have some fans that actually listen to our show, and why don't you tell who they are? Because if they're listening, we want to say thank you for listening.
Well, yeah, I have a roommate from college, my best friend growing up that listens, and I didn't even know he listened, and a good friend of mine, Kelly Brown, and my biggest fan, my mother-in-law.
Got to mention the mother-in-law.
That's
because,
right.
You got to stay in good with her because, boy, you make the mother-in-law mad, the wife is mad as well. I've learned that after 27 years of marriage. Well, let's talk Lady Tiger basketball today. The Tigers had a game last Thursday, which they lost to University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. And then on Saturday, they won against Concordia. And let's go back and talk about those two games. First, facing Mary Hardin-Baylor, which you lost by a final score of 76-64. Let's talk about that game as the Tigers are now 7-13 on the year and 6-10 in conference play.
Yes. No, we're not 7-13. 9.
Oh, 9-12.
Yeah, give us all our wins.
That's right. I'm sorry.
All those wins are.
Look on the wrong line on the printout there.
Yeah, all those wins are hard fought, so we need every one of them. But yeah, the Mary Hardin-Baylor game was a very physical game. They play a lot of players. I think 14 players got in the game for them, and the score was a lot closer than it indicated because we fouled at the end trying to win the game. But we led at halftime and we led through most of the second half. But Mary Hardin-Baylor kept coming and chipping away, and really the difference in the game was down the stretch they were able to score and get some offensive rebounds, and we weren't able to score when we needed to, and we just fell a little bit short. But it was a tough game for us, but we bounced back on Saturday.
That's right. Let's talk about that win that you had on Saturday over Concordia. A final score there of 73-58 in that ball game against Concordia. You were led in score with Amber Carver, 16 points and 15 rebounds. I noticed that in the box score. Well, that's pulling down a lot of boards in a ball game.
That is a lot of boards. She had 10 at halftime, I think.
What was working for her that day?
Well, I think that Concordia, when we was missing some shots, our defense was working. It was one of our better defensive and rebounding games that we played this year. And, our season was on the line, and we really defended and rebounded well in that game.
When you mentioned about your season on the line, you're battling for one of those spots in the American Southwest Conference Championship Tournament, which begins in 2 weeks. The top 8 teams in the conference, and that was a win that you had to have Saturday.
Yeah, it really was. Not only to keep pace with the standings and, being a half game out of getting into the playoffs, but it also gives us a tiebreaker over Concordia. So in any tiebreak scenario that Concordia is involved, we will come out on top of that. So it was really huge for us. The bottom half of our conference, 2 games separates 5th from 11th. So our conference is strong, and you got to play every night. So Ross beat Ozarks this weekend. That kind of helps us out as well. And so that's number 11 beating number 6. You just never know. So, that was a big game for us, and our players knew it, and they were really hungry to win, and they got the victory.
Looking at those conference standings going into the games that you have this Thursday and Saturday, Texas Tyler leading the ASC at a 16-1 record. They're ranked in the one of the top teams in the nation. They got a 16-game win streak. Then Texas Dallas, you have on Saturday, they're 13-3 in second place. Louisiana College in third, 11-5. In fourth spot is Howard Payne. Then Hardin Simmons at 8-8, which you play Thursday night. University of Mary Hardin-Baylor 7-9, Concordia 6-10, Ozark 6-11, ETBU 5-11, LeTourneau 5-11. So, and then Sul Ross stays at the bottom at 3-13. So there's still a battle there to get in those last spots. What do the Tigers have to win to seal the deal to be in the postseason?
Well, by my calculations, there's a lot of stuff that could happen and go. But, if everything goes somewhat as planned, if we can get 2 victories over the next 4, we should be assured a spot in the tournament, and that's going to be tough. We've got the number 5 team coming in on Thursday, the number 2 team coming in on Saturday, and then we got to go to the number 4 team who we beat at the buzzer earlier in the year, and then we play the last place team. So Any way you look at it, it doesn't matter who it needs to be, but we need to get 2 wins to assure ourselves a spot. And 1 win might do it with some help, but been preaching to our players all the last few weeks that we want to keep our own destiny in our own hands. And as of right now, it's up to us. If we can win on Thursday, win on Saturday, or win on the following Thursday, or then we have a chance going into that last game to win and get in.
I guess the cliche to use, Coach, is you take care of your own business and you're in.
That's right. And you never want to have to worry about, well, we need such and such to beat such and such to get in. So right now our destiny's in our own hands, and as long as we win one of the next 3, then that last game of the season versus Sul Ross should mean something for us.
Before we talk about Thursday night's opponent in Ornelas Gymnasium, we'll continue to talk about the win over Concordia. One of the players that shined from in that ball game was Morgan Garrett, and there was an article in the newspaper about her either the day of the game or the day before, and I don't know if she read it or not, because it was a great article, a great story about her being a student athlete and playing basketball. She had 12 points in the ball game. She was 4 of 7 shooting threes. Talk about her performance in that win against Concordia.
Well, Morgan Garrett's a great shooter, although she hasn't shot it as well as she's capable of this year. We've been looking for one of these breakout games for a while now. Morgan's a junior, and I don't know. I didn't even think about the correlation between the newspaper article about Morgan and our team and the game, but maybe the newspaper article gave her instant confidence because she played very confident. She shot the basketball when she was supposed to, and she didn't turn down any that I thought she should have taken, and she was 4 of 7, and we needed every one of them. And on the other side of that is that Morgan's a junior. Morgan's a very intelligent player and a person, and she knew that she was going to have to step up along with some of our other teammates because our point guard, April Leonard, was going to be missing from Saturday's game, had to attend the funeral. So maybe that's part of it as well. But throw in that we were super focused because we knew it was a game we had to win, but we had a great team victory, and Morgan Garrett played one of the better games that she's played this year. And hey, she had 9 rebounds. She was 1 rebound away from a double-double, and coming from the point guard spot or the 2 spot, that's a great rebounding effort.
Maybe I should call Nathan Haig, the editor of the Marshall News Messenger, come and do two stories this week on 2 of your players who had excellent games as well. I want to talk about April Leonard, of course, had been gone because of a death in her family. I was impressed by how the team came together and realized we're losing one of our key players, but we are a team, and they showed that on the court against Concordia.
Yeah, we did. And, one of the things that April brings is the fact that she is just unpressable. We don't have to really put a lot of thought into our press break. We can just throw it to April and let her dribble it down, and that's a luxury that we've had for the last 3 years with April, and that was one thing that we were missing. And I'm sure Concordia was surprised that she wasn't at the game. It's not something that we advertised, but about the 10-minute mark, I think they realized, wait a minute, ETBU's playing point guard by committee, so let's see if we can't press them a little bit. And Secret Davis played 36 minutes in that game, which is a lot more than normal, and she stepped up and had like 5 assists and 4 turnovers, and she ran a lot of the point guard. And Ambrosia Woodard got 20 minutes off the bench and played really strong. She had no assists, but she had no turnovers, so she was very instrumental during that time, and especially in the second half where they were, pressing us a little bit, and we just needed someone that can just take care of the ball, and she did a great job at that. And Morgan Garrett also helped with getting the ball down the court, and it was fun to watch how our team came together because it was one of our better team games, and I'm sure it was because that they wanted to win it for April, and because we knew that April was worried that she was going to let her team down by not being able to be there.
Coach, that win over Concordia, 73-58. Hopefully gives you momentum coming into this weekend's game. Thursday night at Ornelas at 5:30, you host Hardin-Simmons, and then Saturday you play University of Texas at Dallas. Let's talk about these 2 games coming up on your schedule. Last time you played Hardin-Simmons out in Abilene, unfortunately you lost that ball game, but April Leonard with 21 points. She'll be back Thursday night. Amanda Rucker with 16. What do you hope to see from your team Thursday night as they take the court against Hardin-Simmons?
Well, we're happy that we're not playing this game in Abilene because we haven't had a lot of luck in Abilene, but we've had some luck against them at our place. So it's going to be another one of those games where I think Hardin-Simmons is comfortably in the tournament, and I'm sure that they're playing for seeding purposes, but we're a very hungry, desperate team right now. We want to realize all our hard work and get in the tournament. And so I'm sure that we're going to come in and we're going to play hard. But Hardin Simmons is big on the inside and smart on the outside and really skilled at the guard spot. So we're going to have to rebound the basketball well, and we're going to have to guard three-point shooters because those guards are really good. And, we're going to have to play one of our better games to beat them. I think Hardin Simmons is a little bit better than their record indicates, and we're just hoping that we can, get off to a good start against them because we did not get off to a good start against them in Abilene. So that's one thing we're going to do. We're going to really focus on this first 5 minutes and get in the game.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time today on ETBU Extra, and best to your Lady Tigers Thursday night as you host Hardin Simmons at Ornelas.
Thank you.
All right, Dustin Howard's been our first guest here today on ETBU Extra. We've got a big show lined up. Coming up next, we'll talk Tiger basketball. Still to come, we'll talk Tiger baseball, Tiger softball, and Tiger tennis as well. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, each Wednesday from noon to 1, talking Tiger sports. Join us each Wednesday. Buffet and drink, $5. What a deal for a lunch on Wednesday. Back with more ETBU Extra in just a moment on the ETBU Sports Net.